All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Canalmen, the weekly talk show covering our Bourne High School sports teams. I'm your host, Keegan Hamblett, and as we enter week 6 of the fall sports season, 2 of our Canalmen teams have already clinched their spot in the MIAA state tournament, which will take place in a few weeks. A lot of fantastic matchups and games coming up later this week as well. Plus, we're going to have members of our Bourne football team joining us in studio very shortly. We've got a very packed agenda today, so let's get started. As always, we started off with the Bourne golf team. The Canalmen have taken part in 2 matches so far this week, defeating the Joseph Case Cardinals at home on Monday by 3 strokes, and falling on the road to the Old Rochester Bulldogs yesterday by 28. With Monday's win, the Canalmen have clinched their spot in the MIAA state tournament, set to begin soon. The action isn't just over just yet, though, for the Bourne golf team, as after an off day today, they will be taking part in the South Coast Conference tournament tomorrow afternoon at the Allendale Country Club, which is home of the Greater New Bedford Bears. All 10 South Coast Conference schools will be taking part in that tournament, so we wish Bourne the best of luck. Checking in now with our Canalmen boys soccer team. Bourne fell on the road on Monday afternoon to the Fairhaven Blue Devils 5-0. Monday was the second matchup between the schools this season, with Fairhaven winning the first 3-1 last month. It was the first of 4 straight South Coast Conference teams that Bourne will face over the next 2 weeks. Not much going on for the Canalmen over the next few weeks, as they will have 2 home matches over the next 12 days. Those 2 matches will be the only games that Bourne will participate in during that stretch, so some home field advantage and some good competition at home. Maybe you can see Bourne score some goals and finally earn their first win of the season. Over now to the girls soccer team. The Lady Canalmen came up just short at home on Monday afternoon, falling to Fairhaven 3-1. The match also saw Bourne score their first goal at home in their last 3 matches, which once again came off the foot of Sienna Silva. This contest was the second of 2 home matches at home before they go on the road later today at West Bridgewater. Big tough schedule coming up for the Lady Canalmen, as 6 of their final 7 contests are going to be on the road, with the lone exception of Senior Day in 2 weeks' time. Best of luck to the girls' crew as they look to end a 4-game losing streak. On to Bourne Field Hockey's co-op with Wareham. Field Hockey lost in a non-conference matchup yesterday to Westport at home 4-0. It was the team's first time that they have not scored a goal in their last 4 matches, dating back to September 23rd. The matchup yesterday was the co-op's last one for a while, as they don't have another contest until Monday, October 20th. They're in the middle of their 5-game trip in which all 5 of those final games are at home, so make sure to come on down to Wareham High School and go support both of the schools representing the co-op team. Let's move on now to the Bourne volleyball team. The Canalmen had another dominant home win on Monday night, defeating the Fairhaven Blue Devils 3-0. With their 10th win of the season, the volleyball crew has also clinched their spot in the MIAA state tournament. Bourne also remains undefeated at home this season, winning all 6 of their contests inside the Bourne High Gymnasium, with 5 of them being sweeps. The MIAA yesterday ranked Bourne as the #1 ranked team in Division 4 for girls volleyball, which as of right now would guarantee them home court advantage throughout the Elite 8, which is very similar to what happened last year. Bourne's got some very tough matches coming up, including Duxbury, Somerville, and Medfield. So it's going to be a very interesting test to see what Bourne does with some very top competition across the state. And now on to our final team of today's episode, the Bourne football team. The Canalmen are getting set to open up South Coast Conference play tomorrow night over at Jackson Field, as they will be hosting the Joseph Case Cardinals at 6:30. The team is off to another strong start this season, having a record of 4-0 halfway through and being ranked as the #9 team in their division. Now, with it being a home game, with it being the SEC opener, with them being a top 10 team in the division, you got to bet this is the team that we're going to be talking about a lot more. So joining us in studio, we have 2 of our Canalmen football players. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Nick McCallum. I'm a senior. I'm a middle linebacker and left tackle, and looking forward for a great season.
My name is Brady Banks. I'm a tight end, defensive end. I'm also looking forward to a great season in the future.
So, Nick, I'm going to start with you. We got to talk about the strong start that you guys have had. 4 wins, 0 losses, and a lot of blowout wins, too.
Yeah.
What's working for you guys this year?
Really just focusing up in practice, playing as a team, and trying our hardest, knowing it's our senior season and we really want the ring. So.
Now, Brady, you guys started 4-0 last year as well. Have you noticed any differences from this year's team compared to last year's team as to why you guys are still maintaining that success?
I think we have a lot of returning starters. A lot of us have played together for 5 years, starting in 8th grade. And I think building on that every year with team chemistry, getting to know Coach Mack better, getting to know the offense better is always going to help us try and win more games, be better for the future.
Now, I think the main highlight of the team so far this year was the win over Bourne a few weeks ago. Very strong team, Bourne. I believe it was 19-0 was the final score. That one was.
I think that was a sandwich game score.
Was it a shutout against Bourne?
I think we allowed a touchdown. Their first drive, we fumbled. They got the ball.
Okay.
Marshawn got a
Yeah,
touchdown.
That might have been the 42-7 one.
Yeah,
Right?
I believe that was
That
that.
sounds right.
Yeah, so when you guys have these home games against Burncoat, against Sandwich, they're good competition in the state. Doing it in front of your fans, how big of a boost is that to you guys?
It really helps. We know we have their support, and we know we have to do it for someone. And seeing all them, it really just gives us the hunger to win.
And you guys were coming off a bye week a few weeks ago. Now, sometimes the bye week can either help you or hurt you. It helped you out a lot because you guys strongly defeated Monomoy. Monomoy is a team that you guys played here at Jackson Field last year. You guys have handled them pretty well the last few times. With that Monomoy game, just having that big result and some of the backups coming in as well, does that provide a little boost going into the SEC action?
Yeah, I think it's a great boost to always get the whole team going, get the spirit up. But it's also, you want to focus up, be ready for the next game. When you get a big win, it's important to get back in, practice hard the following week, and be ready for the next game.
Now, we got to talk about our quarterbacks, too. James Moran Rose and Jamison Carroll, two terrific young players who are helping lead the offense. Both of them have terrific arms, terrific accuracy to throw the ball. What have you liked from both of them so far this year?
I really just like how they play as a team. They're really not selfish. They really just do what the play is organized to do, and they do very good for being that young.
Is it possible to see maybe both of them, Brady, have a combined role in the same game as the season goes down, or do you think Coach McIntyre is going to stick with one or the other?
I think as of right now, it's shaping up to be a combined role, which is what our offense is all about. The double wing, you have a lot of guys that are helping each other out, and certain guys get the fame, but everyone's working towards a common goal, and I think it resembles that in the quarterback room. Those guys are both great.
Now, you guys are a run-heavy offense, especially with Drew Kelly and Ethan Fox. It's you more because you're on that offensive line. You too because you're a tight end and you can help block up there. But that's always the big key for these Coach McIntyre teams, just having that strong offensive line, the strong blocking to help your running backs out. You guys have been around for the team, and I assume you guys have been there just as long as Drew and Ethan have been with the team. What's it been like helping them out throughout the years here?
It's really great being able to open up big holes for them to run through, really get their name out there and get the points on the board, and pretty cool being able to help them do that.
Now, Bourne hasn't won a state title for football since 2011, that undefeated team. Again, you guys started undefeated 4-0 last year. It's a very tough SEC schedule, as it always is with you guys. The Case game, the Seekonk games, most people would look at that and say, okay, those are the ones that Bourne should be able to win. West Bridgewater, that game was terrific last year. Fairhaven's always towards the top in their division, always trying to compete for a state title. But one of the goals that Coach McIntyre sets every single year, Brady, is to win the South Coast Conference. I know you guys are going to say you guys feel very confident about it, but what's the team mood like going into SEC play starting tomorrow?
I think the team is extremely excited. We're looking to get a good kickoff to winning the championship for the conference, and we got to focus on Case, and Fairhaven's a big one for us this year. It will be exciting to play them. We're all very excited.
Nick, would you say Fairhaven is the game that's circled for the team as well, or are most people looking forward to the West Bridgewater one, trying to get revenge from last year?
I don't know. I really think it would be West Bridgewater for us, just because of how tragic that loss was last year. Fairhaven, they're always going to be a good team, and we're going to try our best against them. Hopefully we can come out with the win this year. But West Bridgewater is definitely, I would say, the bigger game for our team.
So it all starts out with game one of SEC play tomorrow against the Case Cardinals. Just talk about what's been going on in practice the last few days. What is Coach McIntyre really stressing and pushing on you guys to try to be better at compared to the first?
He's really just trying to have us focus more and work on the offense, because recently our defense has been pretty locked down, and we really just need to focus on our offense. He's been pushing that on us, and we need to come together as a team now that we're going into the conference, and we got to get out with some wins.
And a big part tomorrow, what's going to be is you guys know with the power rankings, part of the factor that goes in is the win margin. You guys have won by at least 14 points in every single game. So you got to win by 14 to keep that win margin the same. The Case team, in terms of your strength of schedule, that'll help you guys out as well. But it's all going to start, Brady, with getting a big win tomorrow.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. We got to rely on the defense, keep doing their job, and hopefully work out some kinks on the offense and we can get back to the high-powered offense we were last year.
And I talked with some of the football players a couple of times earlier this year on our show. We talked about goals for the rest of the season. Obviously, everybody wants to have that state championship ring and go out. You guys are in Division 8. It's the last of the divisions here. But the goal is still the same. What would you say is a bigger goal right now to start? Because you've got the goal of winning potentially the SEC. You guys want to get a home playoff game as well, and then you guys want to go as far in the state tournament. What would you say as of right now, today, is the biggest goal for the team?
To beat Case, we just got to focus on the week in front of us and take it week by week and work our way to the top.
Absolutely. And compared to last year, this will be the final question before we start wrapping it up. Compared to last year, where would you say this team ranks overall compared to last year?
I think we're a strong team last year. I think we're just as strong this year. It's just going to come down to how we perform in those high-pressure situations and if we practice well throughout the season. But I think if we do so, we could be better than last year.
Now, you guys are probably going to have your families watching at home. Do you guys want to give any shout-outs to the camera and anybody at home?
Shout out to Mom, Dad, and my sister.
And shout out to my brother and my parents as well.
Nick and Brady, thank you so much for joining us in studio. Dan Vinciguerra and I are going to have coverage on Bourne Community TV for tomorrow's football game, which will be available to watch next week. But be sure to join us at Jackson Field and help make some noise to support our Bourne Canalmen as they look to stay undefeated. Now to wrap it up and recap, let's take a look at the remaining schedule for this week. Golf travels to the Allendale Country Club tomorrow afternoon for the South Coast Conference Tournament, which begins at 12 o'clock noon. The boys' soccer game this afternoon has been canceled and postponed to a later date, with the makeup day not yet announced. Check out arbiterlive.com for more information. Girls' soccer is also taking on West Bridgewater this afternoon, but they are on the road and will have their kickoff at 5:30. Volleyball travels to West Bridgewater for an SCC matchup against the Wildcats today. First serve is set for 5:15 and what should be a terrific battle. And as mentioned, football is back at home tomorrow night to take on the Joseph Case Cardinals in the SEC opener at 6:30. Dan Vinciguerra and I will be covering that one tomorrow to watch next week on Bourne Community TV, so be on the lookout for that game to watch. Be sure to follow Bourne Canalmen Athletics all season long across various platforms. Catch updates on the school Instagram page at Canalmen Athletics, as well as the specific team pages, which include at Bourne_Canalmen_football and at Canalmen_golf. We thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Canalmen. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for Bourne TV programs and BTV sporting events. Also be sure to watch us on channels 6, 8, and 9. For all of us here at Bourne Community Television, I'm Keegan Hamblett signing off and wishing you the best. We will see you tomorrow night at Jackson Field for some Bourne Canalmen football. Have a good day.
Malachi Coelho is back there as the fullback. Moran Rose scrambling, goes to the right side, has Ethan Fox wide open at the 37. He is gone. Touchdown, Canalmen.